What is up, YouTube? Okay, is Pearl broken? That's the question that I'm going into today. I've been very critical of Pearl itself in terms of the map when it first came out on the map design, and I think now Chambers out of meta we're starting to see what I was talking about. This is the stat that I want to focus on, post plants and just plants in general. 8 out of 10 post plants for C9 on attack. DRX, 9 out of 10 post plants for them on attack. Again, 7 out of 8 in terms of Gen G, 7 out of 9 for Loud. So very heavy stats in terms of getting the plant down and post plant. Successful post plants as well. Okay, this is a little bit weird, but I'm gonna just play a video of me as soon as I saw C9's comp, and just kind of my thought process, and just thinking that they were gonna do what their comp is very good at doing, basically. Let's listen to them.
Okay, so this is an interesting one.
Whoa, yay
Sage.
Sage.
There's a lot of
Okay, we might just spam.
and the wall can be valuable, especially
Okay, we might just spam B a lot. So I kind of mentioned it a little bit. The B has changed on Pearl. It feels a little bit weird now that you can't hold it down from multiple positions in terms of chamber. This is a very good comp to just spam B a lot of the time. Okay, so what I was kind of talking about there was just the old meta and how this map was kind of played at the beginning when we saw it. Chamber was very good at just holding down these kind of angles, right? Just a lot of off angles, could be anywhere at the back, could be anywhere at the front, because of the double TP that was in play, right? So all of these angles became a threat. So it was a lot harder to take B main. In my mind, B isn't that well designed, especially because, let me break this down a little bit. I don't think it's that well designed in terms of there's 4 choke points, right? This is a whole choke point. This is a choke point. Here, you could argue like this as well. You can fall back, but here, so mainly 4 choke points. Okay, so to hold all of these, you have to have 4 people unless you have sentinels getting information. So that means that you're very spread out. You're very weak across the map, right? So that means that you can only really fight one of these places with 2 if you have a sentinel holding down both of the mids, maybe 3. But let's just say for the sake of it, you can only have 2. So very hard for you to actually just hold on to the choke points itself and have any kind of good setups towards defense without taking a risk, basically. So now Chamber is out, B's a lot weaker. If you get any kind of plant behind this line here, just anywhere here, your after plant is just incredible. Absolutely incredible over towards B. So that is definitely what the C9 comp is very, very good at, and it's basically what we saw in a lot of these games from C9 and DRX, just both coming in with the same game plan. We're going to quickly look at the DRX game first, and basically just their B hit as well. I thought this was a very impressive B hit. Sova is becoming a little bit meta because you can now, let me zoom in, you can now check all of this, right, with the Sova drone and kill anyone at the back in terms of tagging them. So that's why that's very useful. So that's why you're seeing a lot more Sova. Okay, this hit right here, we have a smoke, we have a shock that's going into the back, we have a recon. This recon's great. It sees everywhere in these 2 positions, so it's going to get this guy, it's going to get the person in elbow as well. And they have a suck, they have an Astra smoke here, and then they have the wall covering the higher and lower. So absolute nightmare. There has just been a knife here where this X is. Again, I'll zoom in, just a knife where this X is, and then we have a flash through as well. So really strong take, and it just allows them to clear all the sight, and because vision is blocked, they have a whole segment where they can kind of choose where they want to plant behind. So very nice from them. Love the hit. They used it a lot. So yeah, as you see, very hard to play sight. Absolute nightmare. A lot of good positioning, good trades, and we just get to have a good plant, right? And then now we can kind of just play that after plant. Kind of doesn't even matter if you do have a pass and disadvantage in terms of this one, because being able to clutch from down here is just very easy. You'll see this kind of one-on-one play out. It's a long time that you have to wait in terms of the one-on-one, right? We even hit some shots into this. Look at this. So shots are hit, it becomes a one-on-one. There's still a good amount of time. And just look how in control RB is just the whole time. Just waiting for an Astra Suck to come out as well. Just so hard, making it so hard for him to hit this shot. Astra Suck comes out as well and pretty much just secures it. There was a lot of time on this spike, and it's still just an easy position to be in. Fully in control, such a good angle to see it from there. So that's the kind of That's the kind of stuff we're seeing in terms of game plans coming out from DRX. They decided to do this a lot. Again, this is it drawn up. I love the recon, the checks all these positions. Kind of playing anywhere on site is an absolute nightmare. Knife goes here. If the knife hits, then they kind of use more util. If the knife doesn't hit, they don't need to use the recon, and I imagine they have another hit for it. So that was impressive. This was what DRX did a lot of the time. When I say a lot of the time, literally is a lot of the time. That's 8 rounds that they managed to do. 8 rounds out of the 12. In terms of their pistol as well, they decided to go A, and then everything after this was a lot of B. The only round they lost was when the defense side had an Astra ult. That is also the exact same in terms of when B was lost in terms of C9 as well. So the only time when they try and go B and actually losing these rounds is when the enemy team has an Astra ult. So yeah, it's looking insanely hard to retake this, and at the moment, with how hard this is to hold as well, it's looking insanely hard to just hold the whole site in general. So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards that maybe we're starting to see cracks in this map. Okay, this is C9's hit. I really like their hit. Their comp is very much made for just spamming B a lot. We have a Sky Flash that goes in. If the flash does hit, then they use an extra Phoenix Flash. They can, all the time, if they wanted to, make sure that the Phoenix can kind of have the spike, get extra orb points, and just spam the ult and just do what Phoenix is kind of made to do in terms of getting orb and plant points. So yeah, again, Leaf for sure played insane. I agree. Paper Rex also definitely had a few mistakes going into it, but in terms of how this map played out, all of the pivotal rounds a lot of the time were over towards B, and it just became a bit of a nightmare. They're just using multiple walls. This is their kind of rough idea. Basically, if the Sky Flash hits anyone, then they can Phoenix Flash, then we can dog sight, then you can do a wall, either this wall, and you can just either dog here, and just clear the site, get an easy plant, just create a bit of chaos once the wall goes up, and then once the wall's gone up and we've had the plant, then we can just play safe, play the after plant. So that's what we saw. This is their protocol when the Sky Flash hits. You're going to see them actually use the Phoenix Phoenix Flash. Sorry, I just think this was very cool. Right, Sky Flash hits, so then they use the Phoenix Flash. A lot of people here. This was Paper X just kind of trying to talk after a pause and just saying that we need to punish B. And they just had no answer to B. They're putting people here. They did have the gun disadvantage, but it just feels so hard for teams to actually prevent anyone going B at the moment in the current meta. Yeah, it's very interesting. Again, they did hit A few times, right? You saw in this there is definitely some A's, but if I'm looking over towards C9, they only ever hit A's when they had ults, right? Even you had the Killjoy ult, we had a Phoenix ult. Sometimes we had Astra ult as well in terms of Vanity, and that was the only time they were actually just hitting that site. So yeah, I'm bit worried for this map at the moment in terms of how it's playing out, or maybe there is maybe there will just be a shift in meta that we will see. Yeah, but I'm not entirely sure. I was a bit disappointed in Paper X. I felt like they picked the Sage and maybe they had a similar game plan as well. But also there was a lot of over-peaking like this. Like, this kill was great. We should play a bit safer. Kind of just over-peaking here. And there's a few other moments where they're like over-peaking. I also felt that their comp with the Sage was very good at doing C9's game plan. Right, this is just very risky. It's always going to get traded out here. So yeah, I just felt like their comp was kind of made to do the same thing as C9. So I was a little bit disappointed that we never really saw them try and shut this down. A lot of their answers was pushing A control, getting A control, but all that did was just make B even weaker, and then the plant would get down and then they just couldn't win the plant. So yeah, that's my current thoughts on Pearl. We have a lot of games to come, so maybe we see it play out in a different way. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just kind of how I'm seeing it at the moment, playing out. So yeah, keep an eye on it through some of these games. We'll see how much the Sova pick goes up. We'll see how many people decide to spam over towards B, and see if anyone actually has any kind of plan for shutting down either early B or better retakes. But in terms of, again, how the map is, it's very hard to be in good positions. You're always you're always worried about lurks at middle as well, just the way that this is made in terms of being like a big long point of contact. So yeah, at the moment looking like the heaviest attack side of map we have, kind of the complete opposite to Split. So yeah, if you do want to catch all of my stuff live, Twitch TV, Sliggy TV, please check me out. I will be live during every single game. If you like this content, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know by hitting the thumbs up, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I will see you on the next video.